This is a conversation about relationships, but it's not just about relationships. It's not, because it's about life, because the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. I take this so seriously, for better or for worse. The idea of, just my relationship. My relationship I take seriously. I take it to heart. It means so much to me, as it means so much to everybody. Hi, Karina. Speaking of relationships. Yeah, the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. So, I mean, for me, my relationship has to do with the way I do life, right? It's a reflection of me. It always is. It's never about the other person. I know that might sound wild, that you're looking at your relationship and the way that it is going, but to me, it always comes back to me. And I know that we can often think, oh gosh, just if I find that right person, or is this the right person, or when I do, or people I hear often tell me, they say, I'm so happy for you. You're so happy. You look so happy. Your life looks so different. I'm so happy you found love and you found the right relationship. And while, yes, there's so much of that is so true, that, when you're in, there's no doubt that people that you're spending your time with have impact on your life and on you, and how you're feeling. But ultimately, there's so much more to that. I mean, wherever you go, there you are. Have you heard that? You know that one? Wherever you go, there you are. So it's like, you think you're going to go find a new person, and that all of a sudden, all the problems of your life are going to be different. That's not always the case. That's most of the time not the case. Actually, you're codependent in one relationship. You better believe that codependence will still be there in the next relationship. I mean, God forbid you actually do find somebody that makes you feel so good and so happy. It's almost worse, because that, is a reflection. Like, it's so wonderful that, that's why we love relationships too. It's like, when we're in a good one, we love the way it makes us feel. You make me feel so good. You make me feel so happy. Well, just that capacity to feel good is as much capacity to feel not good. Like, if someone else can make you feel so good, if you're giving somebody the power, if you're like giving them, like, you are the person, you're the one, you're the thing that's making me feel so good in life. I mean, that's even scarier sometimes, because it's like you're giving them that much power to not feel good. So in other words, you always must take responsibility to how you're feeling, whether it's great or whether it's not good. So again, when somebody's like, oh, wow, so wonderful, you're so happy because this person, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm taking some responsibility for my happiness. Like, I'm taking some responsibility for the way my life looks. Like, I have been 100% involved in making my life good and feeling good. Okay. So gotta take some credit for, the place my life is right now. Yeah, that's maybe not as like romantic. I'll tell you the romantic part. The romantic part is that through my desire to have some unconditional love in my life, through my desire to feel good, to feel adored and adoring, to feel more joy and more room for more love feelings, and to feel accepted, to feel listened to feel heard, all the things, that was coming from me. Like, I was sending that out, not knowing like in which way that would come, not knowing how that would look, and just wanting that in your relationship. You probably want some things in your relationship too, maybe not though. I think a lot of people are just completely given up in their relationship, have completely gone kind of like numb to it, which is, I get it too. I get that. And when you don't know how to fix something, when you don't know how to feel different and better, we can just kind of shut that part down and just kind of go through the motions, and that happens too. But maybe you want that in your relationship. Maybe you are bold and brave enough to allow yourself to want more. And that's not necessarily saying you want someone different. It's just saying I have made a commitment to myself, which, and also, in this relationship, in my relationship, I made a commitment to myself. I choose to be in love. I choose to be under the influence of love in my life. I keep choosing love in my life over and over again, all across all boards. So this is actually really a talk about what needs to happen in order to continue to be in love in life. Whether we're talking about our relationships with our person, whether we're talking about our kids or neighbors, our politics, our president, right? Like, it doesn't matter who we're talking about here. Like, being in love is a choice. It's something we get to choose, and we get to be intentional about, and we get to again and again choose. And in order to have that, like, what needs to happen? What are you going to put ahead of that? Whether, again, so the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. The way I'm being in my relationship, the way I'm experiencing my intimate relationship, my personal relationship, is something I get to learn from. It's such a gift to have that reflection in your close environment. Like, that's what, it's advanced humaning, I say. It's advanced stuff to have a constant reflection with you at all times if you're choosing to learn from your relationships. But what is in the way of being in love? Is it a belief system I have? Is it the need to be right? Is it a fear? I do this. This is real. This is a real thing I choose to do, and why I take it seriously, and why it matters, and why, like, how I'm feeling in my relationship really matters, because it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to see truth, to see what's real. When there is a conflict that arises, whether it's with my partner, with my relationships with other people in the world and kids, or the way I'm believing about looking at other people, when I feel that feeling of like conflict or disapproval, or like this is taking me away, it's taking me out of love. And I go back to, how can I be in love? How can I be back in love? And usually the answer has to do with where I'm feeling I have to be right, where I'm deciding the way I'm thinking is right, the way you're thinking is wrong, or I'm feeling judgmental or critical of the way people are being or something's being. That takes me out of love. And I take that seriously, because I have chosen once, and I've chosen over and over again, to live under the influence and in a life that reflects love. Whether I'm doing that perfectly, that's not it. It's like, I know that's not true. I know that this is a lifelong commitment and practice. Oh, but it's like the best one. It just really is, because it just gives me a daily opportunity to choose it again and step back into it. And so challenging sometimes, because you continuously have to let go of where you are, in that ego, and deciding that it's hard. And when I feel like emotional, and I feel like, when I'm like crying and I'm frustrated or something, it's not crying from, what those, like, where that frustration and those, like, where I'm crying comes from. It comes from just like something I'm wanting. You're wanting to feel, I'm trying so hard. I care so much. I really want to feel this connection with humans, right? I want to feel the togetherness. I want to feel that we're coming together. I don't, it feels painful to feel the disconnect. It can feel painful. So, I'm talking about relationships with loves, but I'm talking about the way we live, the way we do one thing is the way we do all things. We're choosing to, if you choose to want to be in love, you can choose to be right. You can choose to fight for something. You can choose to make a stand for it. And I want to just say that if you're finding it hard to go back to the love, finding it hard to go back into that love, take that as an opportunity to go a little deeper, go a little more, and say like, hey, what am I holding above? What am I holding as more important than being in love? Right?
So funny.
You're so funny. Lulu's like, I'm funny.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
So if there's something that is feeling and if it's feeling, so I'm still going. If there's something that's feeling, if it's feeling challenging to get to that space, then the question is, what is it that I am feeling that is more important than me loving my neighbor, me loving my love, me loving my kid, me loving my politics, or whatever it is, me loving us as humans being together on planet Earth? What are you holding is more important than that? That is the thing. That's what's in the way of you being in love and under the influence of love. That's it. That's the thing. Okay? So that's the question we're asking. What is holding me back from loving you in this moment? What is holding me back from loving neighbors in this moment? It's my need to feel. It's my need for you to hear me. It's my need to be understood. It's my, what is it? My belief that it's because you're this. Like, listen to yourself. Listen to what comes up. This is the only reason why we even need these relationships in our lives. Yeah, and they're fun. And they're fun. We get to have fun in them too. But listen, it's not always about being right. It's not always about being heard and understood. Sometimes that's what's in the way. You want to open yourself up to more love. You want to open yourself up to more good experiences and feelings. Like, doesn't it feel good to connect? Isn't it like the best thing when you witness like humans coming together and loving each other? Isn't it the best? Isn't there anything more wonderful than that? Is there anything that we all want more than that? And it's easy to set that aside when we are stuck in something that is not of love. This is about bringing us back to that. Bring us back to love. What is in the way of me loving you right now? And if you're called to be like, it's because of you, it's because of you, it's because you're doing this. When you change, then I can love you. You want to open that. You want to open yourself up to more love, then you will develop the skill, you will develop the ability to drop the conditions of loving one another, to choose to see each other through the loving eyes, to find love there. It's always there. We will develop the skill to drop the differences and find what is in common, which is usually going to be, we all want to feel love. We all want to feel connection. Truly, we do. It's in there somewhere. We all want to feel healthy and well, and we all want to feel more joy, right? Okay. That's all. That's all for now. Love you.